What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. So Bitcoin is coming up on a critical support level right now. This level has acted as a pretty big pivot point in our trading range. So 11,000, guys. 11,000, not only a whole number, but a critical support. Previous resistance here. We found some good support at this area. This was a bit of a breakdown area. We found some good support here. And right now, the bulls are looking to put in some support at 11,000. We are hitting new lows off this pullback. So we came up on, we hit 11,037. So we'll see. Let's go into the hourly real quick so we can see. We fell below 11,171. And we are testing right now this previous support level right now, right? So the bulls are trying to push back above this previous support level. If they, we could find some resistance here, and if we can't push back past this support level, then likely we will be breaking down past 11,000. So this is a pretty interesting moment for Bitcoin, guys. We are sitting on a lower high trajectory now, hitting this, horizontal support. Of course, you do have support at 10,700, about 10,600, 10,700 below you. If Bitcoin does break below 11,000, in the very near term, then likely we could be testing just above 10,500 actually. This upsloping support line. This upsloping support line is the, parabolic support curve where we found support at 9,650, but we'll see. There is definitely a chance that we could bounce back into this area. Again, I would expect 10,500 to, this basically just this support line right here. I would expect it to be pretty significant support. In a potential bounce. If we break below this support line right here, then likely things would get very bearish very fast. But I'm suspecting that 11,000 or 10,500, 10,700 is going to be support. But right now we are hitting new lows off this high here. So this is going to get interesting, guys. There's actually a lot of really interesting things happening in the market right now across the board. A lot of coins right now seeing some extremely interesting action. Again, we are still within the parabolic support curve, guys. We are still technically within the parabolic trajectory. So technically bullish, Bitcoin could remain bullish. Bitcoin could remain, get a bounce, trade into the apex and bounce, into this area right here. We could actually trade into this range and continue being bullish. But right now it's interesting, guys. We haven't seen lower highs like this the entire range. We had an ascending triangle breakout, bit of a false breakout, some horizontal highs, pulled back, hit the parabolic support curve, and continued to the upside. But we didn't really see, it was more of just like, the price kind of just ran back to test the support curve and, the parabolic support line and rallied again. But now we're actually getting lower highs again. For the first time, rather. So we had higher highs here, ascending triangle breakout, horizontal highs, rallied off the support line, and now we're actually getting lower highs. So there is still a chance that we do find a bit, higher lows, lower highs, and trade to this apex, and there is a chance that Bitcoin could remain bullish and continue out. But if you guys have been watching my content recently, then you should know that what I'm looking for right now is a test of the golden retrace. So about 7,500, guys, about 7,500 is the area that I'm looking at, and I can explain why that is here in a second. Of course, it seems like a big pullback. Going from 14,000 to 7,500 seems like a pretty significant pullback. But really, what we'd be looking for is, a bit of sideways action in this area, and then a pullback going into August, September. Some sideways action and a pullback, hitting the golden retrace and rallying out of here for the long term, looking for a larger scale parabolic move, right? This is what Bitcoin does during bull markets, right? So if some easy examples to look at, check out Bitfinex real quick. Right, so guys, check this out, right? So what I'm looking for now, let me just explain this. What I'm looking for now, definitely smash the like if you haven't already and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'll get to the chat in a second. But again, what I'm looking for is a test of the 618. Now, some people think this is unreasonable of a call to make, but let's just look at Bitcoin's history real quick. right? So if you take a look at this first, after we came out of the bear market here, looking at 2016, this low to this high, we came back and we retested just above the 618 fib retracement right here, guys, right? So we hit this high, we came back and we retested the 618, all right? This low right here to this high right here, we came back to test the 618, just below it there. So just a little bit above it, a little bit below it. So now the next one, you could even do it, you could probably even do it here. So we hit our high, came back, hit the 618. Now, of course, we were breaking all-time highs in this area, so we dipped a little. It was a little bit more resistance at this range. But again, 618 was hit. This low to this high, hit the high, came back to test just above the 618. This low to this high, came back to test the 618. And then, of course, things got, became a little bit more parabolic. This low to this high right here came back to test, the 50% retrace just above the 618 right here. So, of course, things became a lot more bullish, a lot more parabolic. The media hype, mania phase, ICO, mania phase, all that stuff. But, guys, when Bitcoin's forming a long-term bull run, generally this is how it goes. It has a major blow-off top, pulls back to test the 618, and rallies out for the long term. Major blow-off top, pull back, hits the 618, rally, sideways action. It does it in different ways. Sometimes it hits, back here when there was, when the market was a lot smaller, there was a quicker pullback to the 618. But, these are better examples. This is a really good example, actually. Rallied up, hit a blow off top, had a pushback on the weekly, sideways action, hit the 618. Came up, had a blow off top, pushback on the weekly, sideways action, 618. Right, so that is what I'm looking for now, right? And it does seem a bit extreme, but if we look at Bitcoin's history, this is really just how it's done, guys, right? Hit a blow off top, push back on the weekly, or this is the 3-day, doesn't really matter. Same thing, push back on the weekly, sideways action, 618. Blow off top, push back on the weekly, sideways action, 618. So guys, again, hitting the 618 is quite likely here. And this is what I've been preaching for weeks now. But yeah, I would just look out for this. I would look out for a potential sideways action and a pullback to the 618, and then a rally out for the long term and a long-term bullish move, guys. Everybody sees me as a bear, but you can't be too bullish on the market. You can't be too bearish on the market, right? I've learned that myself, right? I had my downside target set at 2,500, and I was a little bit stubborn. 3,150 wasn't good enough for me, and I was a little bit stubborn. Didn't accumulate as much as I should have, but lesson learned, guys. You can't be too bullish. You can't be too bearish. Likely, in my opinion, we are going to see some sideways action and a pullback for some good long-term bullish structure, guys. This is, market. This is just routine, guys. It is routine. It is routine for Bitcoin. Now, it's not guaranteed to happen. Nothing's guaranteed to happen at all. It doesn't have to happen. It's just extremely likely, in my opinion, that this would happen. This is what Bitcoin does when it's forming long-term bull markets, right? So, and we have these lower highs here. We have a lot of sell pressure coming into the market. I think a pullback to the golden retrace and a rally would make sense for a long-term bullish move, right? A lot of people are looking at this market and kind of just expecting, this right now. Or, they're expecting like this. It's really just not a realistic expectation, guys, whatsoever. If you understand, if you're experienced with analyzing markets, trading, whatever, But anyway, we are coming up. So one interesting thing, looking at, let me get rid of some of these. Looking at Litecoin. So this is interesting to see how Bitcoin is forming right now, coming into a bit of a pennant here. So Litecoin is a bit of a leading indicator in this market and has been a leading indicator in this market. And right now we are testing an extremely critical level, the $100 level, not only a psychological resistance support level, but also just technically an extremely critical level, acting as a bit of support and resistance here for the major run up, support here, acted as, front ran as support here, a breakdown area here, some resistance here, some resistance here, some resistance here, some support here, and right now acting as temporary support. But Litecoin, guys, also on a parabolic trajectory, looking very much like Bitcoin, a little bit different. Litecoin has led us into some breakouts. It also has led us into some breakdowns. And right now we had a bit of a breakdown, right? So we snapped out of the parabolic trajectory. So Litecoin has broken out of its parabolic trajectory, potentially getting ready to form a even larger scale parabolic trajectory. In that, this is a great example of what I'm looking for Bitcoin, guys. Let's see what the fibs show us here. So the 618 for Litecoin is coming in around $70. But this is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin, guys. Right? Breaking out. It doesn't have to happen now necessarily. We could trade up still. Who knows what's going to happen? A little bit more sideways action is possible. And then eventually, snapping down a little bit, most likely, in my opinion. I would expect something like this, probably. At some point. Could be mid-July, end of July. We'll see, guys. We'll see. It could be sooner. It's really hard to tell because we're sitting just above our parabolic support curve here looking at the weekly. But Litecoin is a fantastic example of what I'm looking for Bitcoin. For a healthy pullback to create a longer term, a stronger, better structure for a long-term bull market. Also, let's just go through. I'll get to chat in a second. Definitely hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, let's see. Ethereum also breaking out of its parabolic structure. Ethereum structure is a little bit different. It was kind of more. It wasn't as we became a little bit parabolic as Bitcoin started to run, but Ethereum kind of trading through its parabolic support curve, breaking down a little bit right now. Let's see real quick. So for Ethereum, if it's going to follow Bitcoin, it would, the 618 is coming in at around $180. Also, extremely critical support and resistance area, mainly support right now, obviously. $225 is pretty critical support right now for Ethereum. So if this is going to continue bearish, you could probably test $225 if this was going to continue the sell-off. Bitcoin could see some sideways action still going into July. XRP right now really just, I don't know, probably... I would assume it's quite a disappointing asset to hold, maybe a comfortable asset to hold. It's a fantastic asset to trade, going from 25 cents to 50 cents or 45 cents. Great trading range, but not exactly performing in the way that you'd want it to. So Chainlink breaking out of its descending triangle right now. So we were talking about this in the other stream as well. $2, also the golden retrace for Chainlink. So Chainlink right now has been on a blue sky breakout, and it has been on a parabolic trajectory as well. And the break below $3.25, I guess you could say $3 now, but really the break below $3.25 was really the end of the parabolic trajectory, it seems. And now we're pulling back. So the next, there's really not much support going from $2 to $3. It's really just not much, right? I think temporary support should be, at the 50% retrace at $2.50. Temporary support, most likely. There's nothing much holding you up until $2.50. I would say most likely you're looking for temporary support at $2.50 and then ultimately getting a pullback to about $2, which is your golden retrace, and then a rally. I would suspect that $2 would be that reaccumulation area that you'd be looking for anybody interested in Chainlink. Most likely $2 is that level you're looking for. And that would be a good, healthy pullback for Chainlink. Had a really nice run. And the structure would still be pretty damn good if you got to bounce off $2. After that, you'd be looking for probably, closer to $1.30, right? Or $1.50. This previous support or this previous resistance would be your next range if you can't hold if you can't hold that level, right? If you can't hold 2, then likely you're looking for $1.50, $1.30. But I would suspect that the goal to retrace $2 would at least be pretty good. It would most likely be a really good reaccumulation area, but we'll see. Chainlink, extremely well-performing asset right now. BNB also pulling back, guys. So I would say, the 382 is probably going to be pretty good support. I'm guessing that somewhere between $21 and $25 is going to be the support range you're looking at. 20, the goal to retrace, I think is, BNB is a revenue producing crypto. So I don't think the pullback will be as significant. I think likely you'll find support sooner than most assets. I think, in between the 50% and the 382 is your most likely area for major support. But we'll see. We're breaking down below support right now. And there's not much holding you up until you hit about $25, which is your 382. So those are all the major assets right now. So again, what I'm looking for Bitcoin right now, it could happen soon, but it could take a couple more weeks or something. What I'm looking for Bitcoin right now is what Litecoin just did, which is breaking below the parabolic trajectory. This is what I'm looking for Bitcoin right now. Litecoin and Bitcoin, right? So we'll see. We could still, bounce back on the weekly here, open up a new weekly candle, maybe even trade up for another week, and then pull back and test 11,000. But we'll see. So let's hop into the 4-hour. So sitting just above 11,000 right now. Likely, if we break down soon, then likely 10,500 is that support level you're looking for. If we take a little bit more time to do so, then you're looking for like 10,700. Of course, if you get support here, then you could be looking for another bounce, possibly to test your highs again, possibly. But there's a lot of sell pressure in the market right now. So, guys, let me go through chat real quick. What is up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. See a lot of familiar faces. What's up, guys? Let me go through chat. Hold on. You guys, let me know in the chat. Do you guys think that Bitcoin, in the chat, let me know. Do you guys think that Bitcoin is going to remain bullish and rally out of here for the long term? Or just remain bullish within the parabolic trajectory? Press 1 if you think this is most likely, and press 2 if you think Bitcoin is likely to do something like this in the near term, ultimately testing the, near the gold retrace, repeating this type of cycle that it's done in the past, right? So press 2 if you think something like this is more likely. Press 1 if you think something like this is more likely. Let me go through chat real quick. What's up, guys? Just going through chat. When alt season, Kevin? Guys, I don't know. I mean, there's still a major issue with the crypto market, and that is that a lot of the coins are really useless, extremely useless. And there's a lack of value happening. I mean, there's just a clear lack of value in the market. I mean, check it out, guys. When every asset is moving in the same direction, that's kind of a clear sign that there's a lack of value, right? Why would every asset be doing the same thing? That's a pretty obvious sign that there's a lack of value in the market. So just keep that in mind, guys. If every asset's doing the same movement, and the analysis for most assets are generally the same, then likely you're looking at a market that has a lack of value, and there's a lot of uselessness in this market. There are a few extremely good coins that will most likely last a very long time. So alt season, I think the next alt season is going to be a little bit different, guys, right? I wouldn't expect the alt season that we saw in this area right here, like when you had these bounces and you had these incredible rallies in the alts and like this bounce up here, most likely not, guys. Most likely not. It's just not the same anymore, guys. The market's a little bit smarter. People in this market are a little bit smarter now. They know that not every, it was so easy to get money into these crappy altcoins back then, guys, when people didn't know what this market was and people thought that this was like the next big thing, which it is, but it's not going to be like every coin. I just don't think this alt season is going to be anywhere near the same, guys. I don't think so. I think the market is getting a little bit more mature and people are getting a little bit smarter now and realizing that not every altcoin. So you got to be very particular with what altcoins you choose. Better make sure it's a good altcoin because otherwise it's probably not going to rally. Probably not. It's probably not going to do what you want it to do. So make sure you do the right type of research so you understand the technology you're investing in, right? Make sure you do the research, guys. When you're investing in altcoins especially, right? Understand what you're buying, right? You can't just expect your alt to moon because of alt season, right? It's just not a good thing. Not a good strategy, guys. Not a good strategy to have. Let's see. Just banking on alt season's not the best. But I do think there will be a few alts that will do extremely well, guys. In the long term. I mean, I'm looking at, right now, I'm looking at Ethereum, I'm looking at Litecoin, I'm looking at Chainlink, Binance Coin, those. XRP I analyze because it is one of the top coins. I'm kind of skeptical of XRP right now. Just going through chat real quick, guys. The Caretaker, what is up? What's up, man? Welcome. Capritio, what's up? A lot of familiar faces. Hello, everybody. To the moon, whales have... JC says, my S coins were supposed to moon. The whales have effed me. Guys, it's not the whales that have effed you. It's like, I'm sorry to say it, but you effed yourselves. You can't get into these coins that you just can't buy. Guys, these altcoins had their time, right? Some of them might be good. Just do the research. Do the research, guys, right? Do the research. So a bounce off of 11,000 flat here on Binance. So we'll see. You're looking for this previous, you want to break above your previous support right here. So let's go to the 30-minute real quick so we can see. You can see that there is resistance at that level, right? This previous support right here, a little bit of resistance there in the 30-minute. So you need to snap above this, right, to get another potential bounce up to, to get a, you want to bounce off 11,000. You're going to need to bounce off 11,000. If you break below 11,000, things could get extremely bearish. If you hold 11,000, there's a chance that you might be able to come up to 12,000 again, maybe even 12,500 again for another lower high test, potentially, guys. But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised to see more sideways action. We're hitting, but we are hitting, critical support right above that parabolic support curve. It's pretty critical at this point, guys. And again, if Bitcoin does trade into this range right here, and we start seeing it, not really getting significant bounces, then likely you're going to end up seeing do something like this, like Litecoin has done right here, right? So if we just start trading into the parabolic support curve, likely that'll result in a dump. Pretty likely that would result in a dump. So watch out for that. You're going to want to see a major bounce back to resistance, right? For there to be a chance of you continuing bullish, right? If we just start trading like this, then I would be ready for a break, right? I would be ready for a break if we start trading into the parabolic support curve, and it would resemble Litecoin a lot. So you're going to need to see a significant bounce for a retest of 12,500 or so. This downward sloping resistance line. But overall, guys, again, I am looking for something like this, a routine correction that Bitcoin, generally does throughout its history when it's on a long-term bullish trend, right? A longer term, a larger scale parabolic move, right? This is pretty routine, guys. So we'll see. I mean, if let me go through chat real quick. A few people in the chat right now saying not going below 11K, never going below 11K again in the Bitcoin's lifetime. That's a pretty bold statement. That's quite the statement to make, considering that we just hit 11,000. So we'll see. We could get significant support here. We could test back towards this downward sloping resistance line. Like I've been saying, we could be getting a pennant formation, just back and forth sideways action throughout July before actually breaking down. Maybe we continue up. I personally think we're going to be breaking down. So we'll see. 11,000, if you're a bull, you definitely want to see this hold right now in the short term, right? Long term, guys, I am a bull long term. I'm looking for, a good support retest, good reaccumulation zone for a healthy long term move. Oh, Schwartz says not. LOL. Breather says 21 daily EMA is also support right now. Caretaker says the 2-hour 377 EMA is at 10,670. Good support here if it breaks. Good support there if it breaks. Yeah. Basically, I was looking at 10,700. 10,670 might be more accurate. But, it's really this parabolic support line right here. It's just this trajectory that we're on, in my opinion. You could whether there's an indicator showing potential support there, whether it's your upward sloping parabolic support line that's showing support there, it's just the structure, guys. It's just the structure. This market is really, really heavily based on psychology, and of course, the trading bots pay close attention to the EMAs. That's for sure. And also, let's see. Yeah, if you do break below the parabolic support curve and you hit, 9,700, 9,600 again, then you could be looking at a descending triangle, the potential for a descending triangle of some kind. That was terrible drawing. This is totally possible as well. That could be the sideways action that I'm looking for, potentially. But we'll see. Let's go through chat. Am I really behind right now? Yes, I'm so behind. Oh yeah, I asked the chat. Hold on. Yes, definitely gently caress the likes. If you guys are enjoying the stream, definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed. JC says whales will do what they always do. They will do the opposite of what the sheeple YouTubers are saying. Well, guys, most YouTube, crypto analysts have been extremely bullish on Bitcoin, have been calling for just continuous higher highs, right? That's most. Most are saying, oh, the trend is your friend, like all that stuff, which is true, which is absolutely true. And right now the trend is your friend until you break below the parabolic support curve, right? So technically, yes, the trend is your friend until you break below this, right? And then that'll be really good confirmation that the trend is over for the time being. And then looking for a longer term support test, right? But, guys, any crypto veteran, or just anyone who's good at analyzing charts, rather, can see that this is really just a good way to form healthy long-term bull markets, guys, right? It just, I don't know, guys. I just don't expect this right now. It could happen, I guess. But the volume signature does not support that idea. The idea that this thing will just rally past all-time highs and we're good to go and we're hitting 50K this year. Like, bad. Not a good thing to base your trades off of. Likely, we'll be forming a long-term bull market here, guys. And this is what happened last time we came off the low. Last time we came off the low, we had a nice rally up. I mean, this is a little bit different, of course. The environment is totally different. The velocity of this move is insane. But we always rally up, find a blow off top, hit the 618. Rally up, find a blow off top, hit the 618. Break all-time highs, rally up, find a blow off top, hit the 618. Rally up, find a blow off top, hit the 618. And then you go extremely parabolic, right? So I think rally, find a blow off top, hit the 618, possibly, maybe. I think it's likely. I don't know. Some people think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I think it makes sense. I think it makes total sense, actually, but we'll see. Adam Andrew says bulls are getting wrecked. Well, not necessarily. Not yet. We'll see. I mean, I think likely that the bulls are going to create a nice long-term move. I don't think the bulls will get wrecked. I think, the strong hands will be completely fine in the long term, guys. The strong hands will be absolutely fine, in my opinion, in the long term. The strong hands will, like always, strong hands win in the end, right? I was a bear here for a pretty damn good reason. And I'm a bear here, I think, for a pretty good reason, right? At least in the short term, right? So let's see, we are coming up on where we're kind of just hovering above 11,000 right now. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, we actually dipped below here on Coinbase. We did dip below. Let's go to the hourly. We dipped below 11,000 briefly, so we'll see if we continue down. Again, that support directly below you is coming in at 10,500. Yeah, 10,670, 10,700 could be more accurate. As a short-term support. But it is really this parabolic support curve, this trajectory that we need to maintain for the bulls, right? If you're a bear, you're going to want to see it break. And if we do break, it's going to look something like this, like Litecoin, guys. It's going to look something like that, most likely. And again, Litecoin has been a bit of a leading indicator in this market. It has led breakouts. It has led breakdowns, possibly leading us into a breakdown. Again, the way that Litecoin traded up against was pretty telling. Litecoin was trading straight up against its parabolic support curve, just trading sideways into it. If we see Bitcoin do that, guys, if we see Bitcoin not getting significant bounces and just kind of trading into this parabolic support curve, then likely you're going to see a break. Likely you'll see a break if that happens. So look out for that. If we're trading super sideways into the parabolic support curve, look for that breakdown. If we get a significant bounce, maybe we'll trade into the apex, and there's actually a possibility that we break out again. Then the possibility of that is there. But if we just trade straight sideways like Litecoin, then expect a breakdown and possibly forming something like this in the long term. Let's see here, guys. So going through chat real quick. Jay Costa says this is a normal retrace. Absolutely. Mark D says 9,200 Kevin Boy. Mark D is looking out for 9,200. Linas says 2,000 might hold. So Linas is looking out for a B wave correction, like a lot of people, like Alessio Rastani. He's looking out for this. I'm not, guys. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of these people that thinks we're hitting lower lows. That just goes completely. That would basically mean that Bitcoin is failing as an asset, right? If you, in my opinion, if you think that Bitcoin is going to hit lower lows from here, then you're basically saying that we're no longer going to maintain the long-term growth pattern. We're going to break the long-term growth pattern, and likely Bitcoin will fail. That's what you're saying, in my opinion, if you think that Bitcoin's going to hit lower lows from here. That's what I think. I don't think so, guys. I think we're long-term bullish, short-term bearish. But we'll see. We shall see, guys. So again, if you get a strong rally off this area and you get, come back to retest your downward sloping resistance, then you have a chance to break out and continue the rally to the upside. If we don't get a strong bounce here, or if we break lower even, or if we trade sideways into the parabolic support curve, look out for like something like this, like Litecoin just did, guys, right? This is what I'm looking for now. Mike Art says we broke it. Not yet, guys. Guys, if we break the parabolic support curve, you'll probably know. You'll probably know. It'll be quite obvious. You guys definitely hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Jay Constant says they want your BTC. That is true. They want you to let go of your Bitcoin, right? So just expect that, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing is guaranteed. We could get a B-wave correction. I don't think so. This is what I think is most likely. So if we start to pull back, then look out for, that routine. It's a routine correction back to the 618, anywhere from 7,000 to 8, really 9,000. But I would say closer to 7,500 is my target right now, 7,500. Just understand that this is routine, right? Just look at the big picture. This is what Bitcoin did on all of its bull runs, guys. Look at the big picture here. These are routine corrections inside of long-term bullish moves, right? So just watch out for that. Cali Girl says 8K soon. Quite likely, in my opinion. There is a reason why the stock market exists, says Lost Child. Yeah, because, the stocks represent actual companies. Bitcoin is, an alternative money. That's what Bitcoin is. Or arguably a store of value. Just going through chat real quick, guys. Haven't gone through chat. So I did ask the chat if you guys think that Bitcoin is likely to do something like this, or if Bitcoin is likely to rally out to the upside. And let me just go through. It looks like most people are leaning to the downside now. It is pretty. Yeah, no, it's mostly downside. It seems. It's like 75% of people think we're going to get a routine correction right now in the chat. And 25% think we are going to blast off. Which, guys, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. We could continue up. This move is insane, right? This is like... if you're looking at it from this perspective, 160 to 500, we have seen moves like this before, right? But, again, we did hit the 618 off this move as well. Not that it really matters. Not that you should bank on this happening there or whatever. But getting a pullback to the 618 is what Bitcoin does during long-term bull markets. Mackey's looking for 8,500. Brian looks for XRP to go to 28 cents. Lost Child says, you're in the game of scams. Well, definitely. Well, yes, absolutely, guys. Crypto is the game of scams, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you'll get caught in the game of scams. That's for sure. You actually have to know the technology to know that what is and isn't a scam. You actually have to do some research. Right? Every industry that is new and that is growing is very scammy in the beginning. It's always very scammy, guys. That is how industries start, right? The technology is new. Things are pretty scammy when it starts, right? That's just how the industry is. But as it grows, it matures, the scams die, and the good projects stay, the good companies stay, whatever. So let's see here. So again, guys, if we start trading sideways into the parabolic support curve, look for a breakdown. If we bounce up to the downward sloping resistance, then you could be in for a continued push, potentially. Again, possibly doing something like this, like Litecoin. Let's hop over to the hourly again. So we did bounce off of 11,000 here, just below 11,000 here on Coinbase, looking to retest some previous support now. So we need to get back above 11,300. You could find rejection there and continue down. Then you'd be looking at potentially 10,700 for a bounce. If you bounce back here, you need some good support right now. But we'll see. We could bounce back here. We will see, guys. Again, this has been a pretty critical level, as you can see. A lot of resistance here, a lot of support, some resistance, some support, support. Right now, support, right? So if this level breaks, it could get ugly, but 10,700 because coming in, around this level right here is your last line of defense of the parabolic trajectory. 10,670 possibly as well. EQ Chronicle says everyone is holding and not using. You could make that argument. But there's a lot of third world countries, a lot of developing countries that actually do. There is actually a need for Bitcoin, guys. There is around the world. There is actually a need for Bitcoin in a lot of developing countries where the currencies are failing. There is actually true demand for Bitcoin in some places around the world. There is. So definitely keep that in mind as well. If you're in the US, then you don't really need Bitcoin per se. It's kind of just like a novelty in a way. But, not every country is like the US, guys. A lot of countries are not as well off as us. So there is demand for cryptos in a lot of countries that have, governments that are abusive or just currencies that are failing, so on and so forth. Spanish Chicken says working project with real use. Yes, that is what you definitely need to look out for that, guys. That is for sure. Chris says hope for two, so maybe one. I don't know. It's kind of the opposite. A lot of people are just hoping Bitcoin goes straight up. Nobody wants Bitcoin to go down. That's holding Bitcoin, right? If you're a long-term believer in Bitcoin, then this is great. This is great, right? If you're a long-term believer in Bitcoin, this was great. Right? If you're a long-term believer in Bitcoin, this is also great, right? All these pullbacks were just blessings, right? So you better hope for a pullback so you can get more at lower levels for a rally, right? It's great. There's nothing wrong with a pullback, guys. This is Bitcoin. Let's just look at the chart. S-Trav says XRP looks like my 98-year-old grandmother did a few weeks ago before she dropped dead. Ouch. That's a burn right there. Yeah, XRP, it's See, this is what I kept saying. This is like I commented on Alex Cobb's channel I'd said don't you think that XRP should be a stable currency? Don't you think that banks want it to be relatively stable? If it is going to be used for cross-border payments and bank remittances and stuff, don't you think that banks actually want it to be stable? And don't you think they're going to make it stable? That's what I kept saying. And of course, nobody listened to me, but the supply keeps increasing. What do you expect, guys? Bitcoin supply, it's a totally different game. A lot of people think that XRP is going to do something big that Bitcoin did. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's totally different. Clearly, right? It's a comfortable asset to hold. It's very stable. It's a great asset to trade as well, right? If you're using leverage, it's pretty nice as well. Going from 25 cents to 50 cents, just bouncing back and forth. It's just kind of sitting here. It's comfortable to hold, but it's not really performing in the way that people want. But it's a great asset to trade because you pretty much know where it's going to get support. And you pretty much know where it's going to get resistance. But nothing's guaranteed, guys. XRP could break out, break down. Who knows? I'm not really huge on XRP. I mean, for me, it's like a trading vehicle rather than a asset to hold. But you know, you could look at it the other way, that XRP is a good asset to hold because it's stable. You know, whatever. If you really believe in Ripple and XRP, then sure. But I'm not. You know, I'm pretty skeptical right now. Oh, Sneaking Weasel, what's up, man? Yeah, I see that you block some comments sometimes. Appreciate it, man. He says, quick shout out to your mods. What do you expect from us? Swearing, okay. Links, alts, okay. No links. Just all links should just be taken out. Swearing's fine, unless it's racist. Definitely take that out. And you know, it's pretty obvious. You know, if anything's just like outwardly ridiculous and offensive, like extremely offensive, you know, you know, just use your head. Let people express themselves though, if they want. If they're talking about a coin and they're swearing, that's fine. If people are arguing, just, you know, get rid of them. Actually, no, you can let them argue. I don't really care. Yeah, I still have my mods from when I was streaming during the breakdown of 6,000. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys stepping in. Much appreciated. 11K is, JC says 11K is strong. We bounced and had support here last time, dude. Yes, guys. I mean, it's previous resistance, support, you know, a little bit of support, resistance, support, currently support. Yes, it is strong. So you could be looking for a bounce here. You could be, right? But again, if you start trading sideways, if you come up and you get rejected off 12,000 and you start getting support like this, right? I would say you're likely to break down similar to Litecoin. Again, I keep saying this, but if you get a major bounce back to resistance, then I would say you're likely to possibly continue up again. But if you get rejected, you know, in this area and you hit support like this, then I'd say likely you're looking for a breakdown. Well, so we'll see. Yes, temporary support, sure. It's a good temporary support. I would suspect that we were going to find support at 10,700, you know, parabolic support curve or 11,000, right? But we'll see. So what we're looking at a bounce right now. Let's go to the hourly. A little bit of a bounce. Definitely need some more follow-through volume from the bulls, but we are, you know, entering this good support zone, getting a little bit of a bounce. 11,300, 11,350 is that next area that you really need to break. If you find resistance there and pull back, you're most likely going to be looking at 10,700. But we'll see. You know, we could chop around like this for a bit as well before bouncing up again. Maybe find ourselves at the downward sloping support again. But we will see, guys. We will see. It's getting quite interesting right now. Craig Neve, what is up? He says, Kevin, maybe the Bitcoin dominance has peaked. Litecoin slightly up against Bitcoin over the last few hours. I'll take a look at it. I sold all my alts for Bitcoin a year ago. Great move. Great move. Just going through chat real quick. So yeah, I mean, guys, again, if we just start ranging in between 11,000 and 12,000, then likely I would say you're looking for a breakdown. If you can get some higher lows here and you know, come back to retest this resistance, then there's a higher chance that you might continue up. But even then you might be looking for a breakdown. But we'll see, guys. To me, it would just be very telling if you came up and got rejected off 12,000. I would say things are looking pretty bearish. But we will see. Again, Bitcoin's still maintaining in the parabolic trajectory. It is still possible that we create a pennant formation. There's still a chance for upside, but I'm looking for downside. I'm pretty certain that 14K was the blow off top. 13.8K, depending on what exchange you're looking at, was the blow off top. And in the long term, I'm looking for something like this, guys. A routine correction to the 618 and a rally. Very much like this long-term bull market. It looks like we might be entering a long-term bull market, but a short-term pullback seems likely in my opinion. But we'll see. Anything's possible. Staff Charge and Marine says Litecoin partnered with Miami Dolphins today on Litecoin's Foundation Twitter. Is that true? Litecoin does weird things. Litecoin does such weird things, man. They did like, didn't they do UFC or something? It's so weird. That kind of shows you the nature of crypto at this point. This industry still needs to mature. Aaron H coming in with the 2 says, "I'm gay for Kevin's TA." Well, that's good news. That's good news, Aaron. Much appreciated for the $2, dude. Bit of a strange tip there. Yes, guys, definitely gently caress those likes. Caretaker, much appreciated. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already. P. Wall says, "Kevin, your channel is absolutely amazing for a newbie like me." Well, yeah, guys, I like to keep it simple. I don't like to use too many indicators. I like to, use support, resistance, trend lines. Starting to use fibs a lot more now. It's pretty evident that Bitcoin is, bouncing off these fibs like a magnet. Just definitely keep an eye on them. Much appreciated for you guys all being here. Adam Andrews says, "Print Tether loan to..." Yeah, guys, sorry, I can't get to all your comments. Adam Andrews says, "Print Tether loan to professional traders, Tether Fortress Investments." Yeah, guys, one thing to keep in mind is with Tether, think about it. When an exchange offers Tether and you give them your USD, there's now double the money, right? You gave them their USD and they gave you Tether. Now there's double the money in the market. So there is something to say about this whole Tether situation, the Tether pumping, right? So when exchanges offer Tether, and you give them US dollar for that Tether and they give you back Tether, there's now double, right? So it's a little bit, it is a little bit worrisome overall, something to think about for sure. Legion says, "My wife is from Venezuela. Nobody uses Bitcoin there." I talk to Venezuelans that do use Bitcoin. So I would beg to differ, but maybe it has something to do with the oppressive government, possibly. I don't know. Maybe people just can't access Bitcoin there. I'll have to ask. Yeah, they're trying to get their own crypto in there. That's probably why, right? They don't want them. They want people to adopt what is it? I forget the name of it. Petrodollar, is that what it is? Spanish Chicken says, "Don't get emotionally invested in projects." It's true. Andrew Adams says, "Kevin sounds like Seth Rogen." I get that a lot. I get that. I get some of weird things. People say a lot of things. Julian says, "Like, bell, sub, repeat." Yes. Just hit a button. There's a few buttons. Just click one of them. Or two of them. Doesn't matter which one. Or which two. Let's see. Just going through chat real quick before... I'm probably going to end the stream soon, guys. I'm probably going to end the stream soon. Yeah, Tether is like fiat. Guys, it might be even worse. It might be even worse. I'm a little bit concerned about Tether, guys. I have to say, I'm slightly concerned. We'll see. The thing is, Tether provides incredible swings, which is great, which is fantastic, and it provides incredible opportunity. But just be prepared for equal opposite reactions, guys. This is crypto. Crypto does not go up in a straight line. Eventually it turns around and goes down in a straight line, and then eventually turns around and goes up in a straight line. Right? We might be ready for a long-term straight line right now with a few corrections in between, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, I'm probably going to end the stream soon. Anyway, I'm looking for a routine correction. I think it's likely to happen. We could bounce in this range for a bit before breaking in either direction. We are getting lower highs right now, so it would be pretty telling. If we break, let's say we do come up and retest and we break above this area right here, then that would be like, it becomes a lot more likely then that we are going to break into higher highs if we can break this downward sloping resistance line. If we bounce up to 12,000 and start seeing a lot of rejection like this, then I think it becomes likely for a breakdown, and it would be looking something like Litecoin, where you trade into your parabolic support line and break down, right? So Litecoin could be showing us, it might be a little bit of a precursor. Litecoin has been acting as a leading indicator in this market. So, consider this. It's not guaranteed. Just because Litecoin did something does not mean Bitcoin's going to do something, but it has led a lot of breakouts and a lot of breakdowns. So this could be foreshadowing Bitcoin a little bit right now. So we will see. We have some support off 11,000 right now. We have some support here, but there is, resistance just above us here at 11,350, and there is resistance at 12,000 as well. So we will see, guys, right? Below us, we're looking at 10,700 about is the next support. If you break below that, you're breaking below your parabolic trajectory, and likely you're in for a deeper correction, right? So guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Much appreciated. We're going for almost exactly an hour now. Definitely hit that like button on your way out and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I will see you all in the next stream or when Bitcoin does something or in the next video, guys. Peace out and enjoy your night, enjoy your day, wherever you may be. Peace out, guys.